Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Shrimad Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kun Radha Kun Giri Govardhana Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki. Shri Mayapur Dhama Ki. Jagannath Puri Dhama Ki. Jamuna Mai Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Tulsi Devi Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for braving the cold and coming here to Radha Kalachandji Dham on this Sunday evening. We're very fortunate. There's so many millions of people in Dallas, and how many are here in this temple room right now? How many understand the importance of spiritual life? So tonight we will begin a meditation which will last a few weeks up to the appearance of Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram himself. Nrsimha Rupa Prabhu suggested that we get this meditation going tonight. Therefore, we will be studying from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, not the Bhagavad Gita. This Chaitanya Charitamrita is such an extraordinary text. Actually, the spiritual master of our Srila Prabhupada, his name was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said that if there's a great flood and all literature in the world is wiped out and you can grab just one book, think, what would you grab? He says, if you can take just one book, you take this, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Many may not have heard of this book before, but this Chaitanya Charitamrita has scripture, has references from Bhagavad Gita, from Srimad Bhagavatam, and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. It has everything there and more. So this Chaitanya Charitamrita is an extremely special work. And this evening we will focus on one very important verse. If you'd like to look it up, if you have your devices with you, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 3, text 52. There's a nice website, vedabase.io, and you can find this as a free ebook. This is Adi Lila, chapter 3, verse 52. The verse we're looking at is actually quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the graduate study of Bhagavad Gita. The reason we're reading it in here, along with the fact that the Chaitanya Charitamrita is so special and has the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, who is Krishna himself, and Lord Nityananda, who is Balaram, Srila Prabhupada wrote a commentary on this verse, which they cite in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we want to hear directly from His Divine Grace. Please repeat after me. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasa Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasa Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayer Yajantihi Sumedhasaha. Others can please chant. Navarnam Tusha Krishnam Angopangasra Parshadam Jai Sankirtana Prayer Sumedhasaha Krishnavarnam Tusha Krishnam Angopangastra Parshadam Jai Sankirtana Prayer Janti Sumedhasa Krishnavarnam Tusha Krishnam Angopangastra Parshadam Jai Sankirtana Prayer Jantihi Sumedhasaha. Thank you all. We'll read the word for word. Please repeat. Krishna Varnam. Repeating the syllables Krishna. Tvisha. With a luster. Akrishnam. Not black. Golden. Sa Anga. Along with associates. Upanga. Servitors. Astra. Weapons. Parshadam. Confidential companions. Yagyai. By sacrifice. Sankirtana Prayai. Consisting chiefly of congregational chanting. Yajanti. They worship. He. Certainly. Sumedhasa. Intelligent persons. So the topic for tonight is the best way to worship Krishna. And so there's a spoiler. As soon as we read the translation, you'll understand the best way to worship Krishna in this age. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. As we read the purport, I'll be stopping and speaking in between. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on the Bhagavatam, known as the Krama Sandarbha, wherein he says that Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. That golden Lord Krishna is Lord Chaitanya, who is worshipped by intelligent men in this age. That is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Garga Muni, who said that although the child Krishna was blackish, he also appears in 3 other colors, red, white, and yellow. He exhibited his white and red complexions in the Satya and Treta ages respectively. He did not exhibit the remaining color, yellow gold, until he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Gaura Hari. So first thing, before I speak, I'll actually just offer my obeisances to my spiritual masters. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Lord Chaitanya is called Channa Avatar. Many people don't know about Lord Chaitanya. We all know about Krishna. That's why everyone is here, I think. But Lord Chaitanya is less well known. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna himself. That is what this verse is saying. That Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, famous verse, you all know this probably, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. So Krishna said, surrender to me. I will take care of all your sinful reactions. Don't fear. Give up all other dharma. Just worship me alone. This was Krishna's instruction. Unfortunately, not many of us in this world follow this instruction. Although it's right there in the Gita, plain and simple for all to see, not many are inclined to follow this instruction. So, Krishna decided to come. One of his many reasons to come was to teach us how we can follow this instruction, how we can surrender ourselves to Krishna. So Krishna comes in the form of a worshipper, as a devotee. Lord Chaitanya, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, all-powerful, all-knowing, the source of everything, he is playing as if he's just a devotee. And if people would call him the Supreme Person, then he would block his ears. Say, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. He didn't want to be known as Krishna himself, at least publicly. So he's Channa Avatar, he's not very well known. He's also known as Gaura Hari, or the Golden Krishna. And he's in all of our ISKCON temples. You see him up on the left side. He's on our right with his hands raised, chanting the holy names. And Nityananda Prabhu is on his right. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna and Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. Balarama Hoilo Nitai. Sachi Sutta Hoilo Se. So they are Krishna and Balaram themselves. And another reason why Lord Chaitanya came, why Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya in this age, is to help us with a very easy method of attaining perfection in life, of becoming completely happy in Krishna consciousness. And what is that? Yagyai Sankirtana Prayer. He brought us this method of chanting the holy names, which is very easy to do. In this age, we're fraught with many difficulties. We're very distracted. At least I can speak for myself. I grew up with media in my hand, and 5 seconds, every 5 seconds, everything you watch is changing, even less now. So we grow up with such distracted minds, and you try to have a peaceful environment in Dallas, and it's practically impossible because you hear gunshots, you hear fireworks, you hear horns, all sorts of distractions. You're driving on the road and you just want to be peaceful, and all these billboards are screaming at you to buy something. You want to listen to some nice kirtan on your phone, and then an advertisement jumps out at you and calls for your attention, right? So this age is very difficult. We have all these Wi-Fi, signals going around everywhere, these cell phone towers blasting, and who knows what all of this is doing to our minds and bodies. The air is polluted, the water is polluted, the politicians are polluted, right? It's such a difficult age. This is Kaler dosha nidherajan. In this age of Kali, it's known as an ocean of faults. So if you go into the ocean, you're sure to get wet because it's made of water. And this age is made of fault. It's made of trouble. So if you're alive in this age, you are sure to feel some difficulty. This is Kali Yuga. Right? Anyone here without difficulties? Without anxieties? So Krishna came in this age to give us a very easy process because he knows it's very difficult for us. So in the same way as a teacher will explain how a student can write ABC, they'll actually come and personally write A, B, C if the student needs a little extra help, right? School teachers know. So Lord Chaitanya is like that. We're a bit spiritually challenged in this age, and so Lord Chaitanya comes and he says, I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to be a devotee. And that's why we have this Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's the whole biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's also called Mahaprabhu, which means the source of all the Prabhus. There's many Prabhus, many masters in this world, Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. He's the source of them all. Mahaprabhu. We'll go on a bit in the purport, because what I'm speaking, Srila Prabhupada will also touch on. So now, Srila Prabhupada will speak about the first line, the first part of the verse, Krishna Varnam. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that these words, Krishna Varnam, means Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Varna and Krishna Chaitanya are equivalent. The name Krishna appears with both Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna Chaitanya. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he always engages in describing Krishna and thus enjoys transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering his name and form. Lord Krishna himself appears as Lord Chaitanya to preach the highest gospel. So we see that Lord Chaitanya enjoys transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering Krishna, although he is Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he comes in the mood of Srimati Radharani, because Srimati Radharani is the greatest devotee. She's the greatest servant, the greatest worshipper of Krishna. And she is so happy by serving Krishna that Krishna sees Radharani and he's thinking, I can't experience that happiness. I'm all-knowing, I'm all-powerful, and yet I don't understand. I can't appreciate the love, the happiness that Radharani feels when she is serving me. So therefore, another reason, this is an internal reason, that Lord Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to experience the happiness that Srimati Radharani feels when she serves Krishna. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya is in the mood of Radharani when he is here in this world, and he's always chanting the names of Krishna. And he feels transcendental bliss. Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnam rataswadhanam. He says in the Shikshashtakam, his 8 verses, that this chanting of Krishna's names is like an ocean of bliss, which is always expanding. Anandam buddhivardhanam. And it's so wonderful that every step you feel purnamrita, complete bliss. So this is possible for all of us. You just dip your toes in this ocean of nectar, and right from the beginning you can feel happiness. Yes, we sit in kirtan, we experience some different type of happiness. So Lord Chaitanya is setting the example by experiencing the bliss of chanting himself. In fact, it's amazing. Lord Chaitanya did a tour of South India. He first was staying in Jagannath Puri. That's where he spent most of his life after leaving his family life. He spent the first 24 years of his life in this world. First he was married, and then, or first he was with his parents, and then he was married. And at 24 he took sannyas, and he went to Jagannath Puri. But very quickly after that, he left for a tour of South India. And when Lord Chaitanya went on this tour of South India, he was experiencing the bliss of Sankirtan, of chanting the names of Krishna. Can you imagine the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself experiencing the bliss of Srimati Radharani? It's unfathomable. We experience some little drop of this when we sit in kirtan. How much more? He's the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. Krishna says in the Gita that I am the enjoyer. I'm the supreme enjoyer. We think Ishwaraham aham bhogi. This is our problem. I'm the controller. I'm the enjoyer. No, Krishna is the enjoyer. When you see in the example of Lord Chaitanya how much he enjoys, then we realize I am not the supreme enjoyer. I am meant to serve the supreme enjoyer. So on this tour of South India, everywhere Lord Chaitanya went, he was chanting. He was chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He was also chanting, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hey. Like that, Lord Chaitanya was chanting the names of Krishna everywhere. Or he would see someone, he would say, Hari Hari! And then everyone would respond. No, not like that. They would chant really loud, Hari Hari! That's a little better. Next time, you'll be ready. So Lord Chaitanya would be chanting, he would be experiencing the bliss of Sankirtan himself, dancing, and he was just with one servant. Although his devotees wanted to come with him, he said, no, I will go alone. He broke their hearts by leaving alone, but he allowed one servant to come with him because they were afraid. His devotees were thinking, my Lord, when you go into unlimited ecstasy, this mahabhav of what Srimati Radharani feels, you pass out, you faint on the floor, and unbelievable things happen, these transformations of Lord Chaitanya's body. His arms elongate. Sometimes they go into his body, like Lord Jagannath. Or sometimes he will, well, we won't speak so much more because it's very esoteric. It's very hard to understand. But amazing things happen. And the devotees are worried that you need someone with you to take care of you when you're falling down on the ground in pure love. And so he allowed for Krishnadas, this one Brahmana, to come with him. So what Lord Chaitanya would do is he would see someone and he would tell them, chant, Hari Hari! Okay, we're getting slightly better. I'm sure when there was a whole group of people in South India, they chanted a lot louder. So can you try like that? Maybe? Okay, so Lord Chaitanya would say, Hari Hari! Hari Hari! Okay, yeah, that was pretty good. So he would get them to chant like this, and he would inject them with Krishna prema. Just like that. They would get pure love of Krishna. Can you imagine how unfortunate we are that we have not yet received this? This is special mercy. It's possible to get this special mercy, but we don't rely on it. We don't just sit back in our house, scrolling on Instagram, just waiting for Lord Chaitanya to come to our house and tell us to chant. No, we have to actually do some work. This is called sadhana bhakti. So this means we take up a daily practice. Some of you here have japa beads, and so there's a whole lifestyle. If you want to attain Krishna prema, you have to work for it. It's the highest goal in life. Even to make some money and to get a good position, you have to work a little bit, yes? So to achieve pure love of God, maybe we have to work, do a little bit more than just once a week. Yes, this is the highest goal. But some are very fortunate, and they're called kripa siddha. They are perfect by mercy. The rest of us will be sadhana siddha, that we work for it. So Lord Chaitanya would say, Hari Hari, and they would say, Hari Hari! And they would get Krishna prema, and they would be experiencing the highest happiness as Lord Chaitanya is. They would chant and dance in this ecstasy, and then that person would go back to their village. And so now they've been infected, like we just passed through COVID. And so this was like another pandemic in South India, except a pandemic of love. So that person would go back to their village, and they would get everyone else in their village to chant, and everyone else would get Krishna prema. Amazing. And so all throughout South India, Lord Chaitanya would be giving Krishna prema to everyone. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And many people wanted to come with him. But Lord Chaitanya would say, no, you stay where you are. This is an extremely valuable instruction, because most of us are more comfortable in family life and working. And Lord Chaitanya said, no problem. All you have to do is Yare dakat tare kaha Krishna upadesh amar agyay guruhaya tara edesh. That whoever you meet, wherever you go, just explain what you know from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and this Chaitanya, he didn't say Chaitanya Charitamrita. It wasn't out at the time. He said, speak what you know from the scriptures, and you chant the holy names, and your material life won't be an impediment to your advancement in bhakti. This is very encouraging, isn't it? He said, you don't have to change your position. You don't have to become a renunciate. Just chant the holy names every day. Study the scripture and teach others to chant and study the scripture. That's all. So Lord Chaitanya was feeling the bliss of pure love of Krishna and sharing it with everyone in South India, and eventually returned to Jagannath Puri. And the last, I think, 6 years of his life, he was simply relishing the sweetness of Mahabhav, the highest happiness of Krishna consciousness that one cannot possibly fathom ever, because this is something that only the Lord himself, only that Srimati Radharani can experience. But by serving the Lord in this Sankirtan movement, we can feel a degree of that happiness. And just one drop of love of Krishna is all you need. So Srila Prabhupada goes on in his purport. Lord Chaitanya always chants the holy name of Krishna and describes it also. And because he is Krishna himself, whoever meets him will automatically chant the holy name of Krishna and later describe it to others, just as in his South India tour. He injects one with transcendental Krishna consciousness, which merges the chanter in transcendental bliss. In all respects, therefore, he appears before everyone as Krishna, or Kalachandji, as we know him here, either by personality or by sound. Simply by seeing Lord Chaitanya, one at once remembers Lord Krishna. One may therefore accept him as Vishnu Tattva. In other words, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. So the Lord has appeared before all of us. We're here in front of Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji, Gauranitai, Radha Govinda, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. The Lord is here, but he's also here in the form of transcendental sound. And we don't have to be in the temple to experience this transcendental sound. This is the wonder of the name of Krishna, is that anywhere you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you are, even someone in the most degraded family, the most degraded consciousness, immediately becomes free from more sins than one is possibly able to commit by once saying the name of Krishna. Incredible. Because Krishna and his name are not different. Abhinatvam nama namino, nama chintamani Krishnas. So Krishna's name is Krishna himself. So we always have the opportunity to be with the Supreme Personality of Godhead by chanting his name. And this is what Lord Chaitanya came to give us, this inconceivable blessing, that all we need to do is chant the holy name of Krishna and we can attain all perfection. I'll go on in the purport. Sangobhangastra Parshadam further indicates that Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna. His body is always decorated with ornaments of sandalwood and with sandalwood paste. By his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. By his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. In other descents, the Lord sometimes used weapons to defeat the demoniac. But in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all-attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that his beauty is his astra, or weapon, to subdue the demons. Because he is all-attractive, it is to be understood that all the demigods lived with him as his companions. His acts were uncommon, and his associates wonderful. When he propagated the Sankirtan movement, he attracted many great scholars and acharyas, especially in Bengal and Orissa. Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his best associates like Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas. So Lord Krishna, what's the weapon that Lord Krishna carries? Well, he doesn't carry, but he can call his weapon of Sudarshan. Just like when Shishupal was speaking very violently at the Rajasuya sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthir, as Maharaj Yudhishthir, after the battle of Kurukshetra, was taking up the throne. Lord Krishna was going to receive the first worship, and Shishupal, in his great envy, was blaspheming Krishna. And when Krishna saw that there was going to be bloodshed, when the Yadus took up arms to fight, then Krishna called his Sudarshan Chakra and cut the head of Shishupal. So this is Krishna. He will sometimes use a weapon. Or like when Krishna entered Mathura, this is just after leaving Vrindavan. Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends were coming into Mathura, and they went to a cloth merchant, Kamsa's cloth merchant. And Krishna asked the cloth merchant to give him clothes. And this cloth merchant was not very receptive to the request. And so Krishna, with his hand, separated his head. There's a backstory in the previous lifetime. It wasn't just Krishna was a little upset. So Krishna will use weapons, or he'll even use his own hand. But Lord Chaitanya's weapon is his beauty, his super excellent beauty. He subdues all by his effulgence, by his all-attractive form. He's a bit small on our altar here, but after the class, please go and appreciate the super excellent beauty of Lord Chaitanya. There was a great assembly of sannyasis at the time in Varanasi, and they invited Lord Chaitanya to come because they were all criticizing him, that they thought he was so sentimental. Why aren't you studying the Vedanta? You're a sannyasi. Why are you chanting and dancing in the street like a sentimentalist? So they invited him. And so Lord Chaitanya came, and in his great humility, he went and just sat in the place where everyone washes their feet. And he shined this effulgence like the Brahmajyoti. And it was so attractive that all of the assembled Mayavad sannyasis were amazed. His humility and his beauty attracted even people who are Mayavadis, who say that we are God, ultimately Krishna is an illusion. They speak very blasphemously against Krishna. And yet, even people who are so averse to worshiping Krishna were attracted by the beauty, the super excellent beauty of Lord Chaitanya. So just imagine, not only is he so unlimitedly beautiful, Gauranga, he's golden, Gaura Hari. Can you all say Gauranga? Gauranga. Can you say a little bit louder? Gauranga. Sometimes we go on the street and we ask people to chant Gauranga, and they don't know what they're saying, but they're freed from more sins than they're able to commit. So this is the kindness of Lord Chaitanya. So he is so beautiful and golden, and as we discussed before, he is chanting and feeling the highest bliss imaginable and injecting everyone with pure love of Krishna. It's just unstoppable combination. And he has all of these eternal associates with him, chanting and singing so beautifully, dancing so expertly. They would organize their kirtan parties very systematically. So in this way, Lord Chaitanya attracted all of the people of India. And then he left the work of the rest of the world to the great Shakti Avesh avatar who started this Hare Krishna movement, who we know as Srila Prabhupada. So we'll go on. We have 2 paragraphs left, and we finish in a few minutes. Okay. Srila Jiva Goswami cites a verse from the Vedic literature which says that there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. There's no need for yagyas and ceremonies in this age. He comments that instead of engaging in such external, pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, color, or creed, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam indicates that prominence should be given to the name of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught Krishna consciousness and chanted the name of Krishna. Therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. So many churches these days are being turned into other facilities. Like I was just in Toronto recently, and there's a bar. You know, these that was an old church, right? So not many people are taking interest in religion these days. But anywhere and everywhere, people can chant Hare Krishna. Thus, worshiping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. Therefore, the verse says, Yagyai sankirtana prayar yajanti hi sumedhasa. Those who are intelligent in this age, they know that the yagya of the age is chanting the holy names. Nothing else is required. Simply by chanting the holy names, we can attain all perfection in life. And this is for all people. This is the amazing work that His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, has done, is to prove that this is possible. So when he's writing here in this purport, he's writing from his own realization that he went all over the world 12 times. From the age of 70, Srila Prabhupada started this Hare Krishna movement after preparing for his whole life. He traveled all around the world to practically every country. And no matter how young, how old, no matter how degraded in consciousness, no matter what religion, no matter what habits, no matter what gender, everyone has the opportunity to become a pure devotee of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada did this in a way that no one had ever done before. And therefore, chanting the holy names is the religion of the age. So if someone is not interested in Hinduism and they're on this concept that the Hare Krishna movement is a sectarian religion and they want to stay with their worship, no problem, they can also chant the holy names as they know in their tradition. So those who are intelligent, sumedhasa, actually very intelligent, su means very. If we are very intelligent, then we will understand that this is the greatest blessing. And we will understand also, as Lord Chaitanya said, that there's no other way actually. Christians are speaking these days that Jesus is the only way. No, something is the only way, but it's a little more inclusive than that. Chanting the holy name is the only way in this age. Lord Chaitanya quoted this verse, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva, 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 gatiranyata. In this age of Kali, there's no other way to attain the perfection of life than chanting the holy names. Last paragraph. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a famous disciple of Lord Chaitanya, said, "The principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost, Sri Krishna Chaitanya has appeared in order to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he is distributing love of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to his lotus feet, as humming bees are attracted to a lotus flower." Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is one of the great scholars of the age. He was actually maybe the greatest in all of India. And Lord Chaitanya sat and listened to him speak Vedanta philosophy for 7 days. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was quite proud at first. And so when this young sannyasi came, he's so beautiful, and Lord Chaitanya is thinking, a young beautiful sannyasi? This is trouble. I need to help this new sannyasi. I need to educate him in Vedanta so he can become detached. And so he spoke for 7 days, and Lord Chaitanya humbly sat and listened. And at the end, Sarvabhauma said, "I've been speaking for 7 days. Don't you understand? Do you have any questions?" Lord Chaitanya said, "Yes, I understand Vedanta, but the explanations of Shankara, as you are speaking, are like a cloud that covers the pure light of the Vedanta." And so Sarvabhauma said, "Okay, so you explain." And so Lord Chaitanya went on to famously describe the Atma Rama verse in 64 different ways. Lord Chaitanya, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but in his youth he was also known as Nimai Pandit. And he showed his scholarly ability, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya understood the position of Lord Chaitanya and surrendered to him. So Lord Chaitanya didn't just attract the average person, he also attracted extremely influential, extremely brilliant philosophers. And as I spoke just before, he attracted the whole room full of sannyasis from the Mayavad line. Lord Chaitanya is all attractive, and he attracts all types of people. And therefore, Sarvabhauma is here saying that we should all become attracted to Lord Chaitanya, just like a honeybee is attracted to a lotus flower. So this is our challenge, is to become like a honeybee, to become sumedhasa, and understand the inconceivable gift that Lord Chaitanya, that Lord Nityananda, they're offering us in this age, that you just chant the name of Krishna seriously, feelingly, every day. Just give some portion of your day, and you will experience a transformation of your heart. They are just waiting to help us in every possible way. This whole world is pushing us to be like a fly and go towards material pleasures and degrade our consciousness, like when you're driving on the highway, the billboards, when you're looking at kirtan on YouTube, all these advertisements, right? We're just being called, urged by this society to degrade our consciousness with temporary pleasures. Seek money, seek fame, seek power, seek followers. This is what the world is pushing us to become. And so Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is pushing us in the opposite direction. He's saying, no, the real thing you should be attracted to is Lord Chaitanya, is to Lord Nityananda, and their Sankirtan movement. Because it's so easy, and you can attain all perfection. And there's no rules for chanting. Nam namakari bahudha nija sarva shaktis tatrapita niyamita smarane nakalaha. There's no restrictions on where and when you should chant. And the holy name has all power in it. Krishna, all of his beauty, all of his love, all of his power, knowledge, wealth, fame, strength, renunciation, everything is there in Krishna's name. All we have to do is just take the opportunity to take up a dedicated practice. Some of us, if we're very fortunate, Lord Chaitanya will pass by our cul-de-sac in Dallas and inject us with Krishna consciousness. No, that's probably not going to happen. Some people in South India were that fortunate. We likely will have to commit to a sadhana bhakti. So this is the purpose of this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is to give all of us the opportunity to perfect our lives by taking up this process of sadhana bhakti, of daily chanting the holy names of Krishna, of studying the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, coming together to do these things. And if all of that is difficult, japa, studying scripture, consider this: chanting, dancing, feasting. Maybe we can't take up a daily regimented practice. If you can, do it. That's best. But Lord Chaitanya made it very easy. You come and you chant, you dance, just like in a few minutes we'll do Gora Arati, and we can all sing together. Afterwards we'll get a big feast. Everyone can appreciate kirtan and feasting. This is the kindness of Lord Chaitanya. This is the speciality of Radha Kalachandji Temple, as we all have this opportunity. So please, with whatever time we have left, I'm preaching to myself as well, whatever time we have left, we don't know how long this life will go. Let us seriously take up this process. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. And please, Lord Chaitanya, and perfect our lives. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all for your kind attention. We have a few minutes for reflections, for challenges if you desire, for questions. Please. Ishavatar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's just a reflection. I don't know how you said it exactly. It was towards the end. It was saying something like everything in this world is pulling
us to degrade our consciousness,
yeah, exactly.
Like a fly. Yeah.
That stood out to me because it seems every day more and more true at this point.
Yes. Who knows what artificial intelligence will do to degrade our consciousness. It's a powerful tool, but power in the wrong hands, very dangerous. Other reflections, thoughts?
I have one if there's a, and I think you touched on it in class, but just to help me to understand better, how can we, you mentioned Lord Chaitanya's mercy and Lord Nityananda's mercy, and if you could just maybe re-emphasize for us all, what is the best way for us to connect with that mercy?
Thank you. Yeah, another name that we didn't mention here is Lord Chaitanya is called Mahavadanya Avatar, which means he's the most magnanimous. He is just dying to give us the highest goal of life. So when you have someone who's unlimitedly wealthy, unlimitedly powerful, unlimitedly knowledgeable, and unlimitedly loving and merciful, then that's the greatest combination. All we have to do is just turn to Lord Chaitanya, turn to Kalachandji by this chanting process. The sun gives its rays to everyone, right? But if you're inside with the blinds closed, you don't get the benefit of the sun rays. You have to go and stand in the light. So like that, we can turn to Krishna, we can receive the light of this unlimited mercy of the Mahavadanya Avatar, Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram, Nityananda, by this chanting, by this Sankirtan. And sun means together. This age, we're very disconnected. So life is really difficult when we're on our own. But when we come together, when we practice this chanting together, then we experience that it's actually possible to go on, to stick with the process. So Sankirtan, this is the process for this age, is together. We support each other. And therefore, we have this community. This Radha Kalachandji temple community is growing and growing into some incredible lotus-like village within the Dallas, the greater Dallas area. So come here. At the beginning, you may just give a few hours a week. After some time, you may realize this community is something very special and you want to, let me do some service. Let me start to give a monthly contribution. Or let me come and move nearby. Actually, many people are starting to move closer to the temple here because there's something very attractive here. And what is that attractive thing? It's Sankirtan, it's chanting together. So you may live very far, but try to bring your families together and chant. Chant together in the evenings. Come here, and we all stand for the arati, but the real worship, what will please Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji the most, is not just our standing for the arati, but it's chanting their names. With our hearts, chanting their names. And if we all do this together, we will feel such a happiness that is unmatched, a happiness that will allow us to be detached from our material desires. So we're very fortunate for Nrsimha Rupa Prabhu, you and your team holding this community together and building it more and more. Hare Krishna. One final thought or reflection or question. Stephen Prabhu, yes.
Thank you for the wonderful class. Yeah, this all sounds good, you know, love of God and like ecstasy, chanting and stuff, but actually my life is pretty good already. I mean, like I have, you know, I have so many good qualities and I have a nice vocation and my family and I get along really well. So, you know, what is the impetus for someone like me to actually add on more struggle, you know, more difficulty by, you know, taking up some kind of regulated sadhana like you were talking about?
Thank you. Yes, we may be comfortable, but at some point we won't be. The way of the world is it's always shifting, right? Krishna says in the Gita that sukha dukkha, he says, shitoshna sukha dukkha. Yes, that happiness turns to sadness as inferno Dallas summers turn to frigid Dallas winters. In the same way, wealth can turn to poverty. In the same way, health can turn to illness. We don't know. So we may be in a comfortable situation now, but very quickly our life could change. And by taking up this sacrifice, just even a short time every day, giving our heart to Krishna by chanting his names, this is like a vaccination for when the waves of material difficulty come into our lives. So this is why we have to be sumedhasa. We have to be very intelligent and foresee that there will be challenges in life. It won't always be comfortable if I'm comfortable now. If I'm uncomfortable, it will be comfortable at some point. It will always change. But the only thing that really lasts in this world, the only thing of real substance in this world is Krishna and his names and his devotees. And therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the grand spiritual master, the Param Guru of Srila Prabhupada, he said, Nama vina kichu nahiko aro chauda bhuva namaje. That in all the 14 worlds of this universe, there's nothing to be had but the name of Krishna. So let us become sumedhasa and engage in this Sankirtan Yagya, and very quickly our lives will transform. So thank you all very much. And any credit for something you've heard that was beneficial for you goes to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Grace Brihat Mrdanga Prabhu, a big Hari Bo.